that was.
Call the meeting to order. The Water Board for a special meeting. We are now at the treatment plant until further notice for our meetings. First order of business, we're going to jump ahead to new business. Discuss selling water to Georgetown in an emergency situation. Bruce, you're on.
Okay, so on,
Yeah, can you identify
if I
yourself?
can jump
Bruce,
in, otherwise.
just for the camera, can you identify yourself?
I'm Bruce Trumbull, General Manager of Georgetown Water, and we're here tonight to see if we can get an interconnection opened up between Raleigh Water and Georgetown Water. On, I think it was Sunday the 12th, one of our wells went down. We had to have it serviced. When we took that out of service, it put us in a deficit. So we needed to see if we could find some place to get some more water. Came and asked you nice people, and you guys said you'd see what you could do. So we've been negotiating back and forth for about a week now. We got the DEP involved, notified all parties that need to be notified. We've got permission. We've been declared an emergency state, so that we are allowed by the DEP to open up the interconnection between our two towns. You guys have done some extensive work on your side to make sure you have enough water.
We hired our Taylor Howard to review the numbers to make sure it was feasible and not cause an issue with our whole system.
Thank you very much. We've also gone through the ordeal of getting a temporary pump at the border between our two towns because of the difference in pressure and elevation of our two systems. We have to pump your water up to our system. So we've set that up already tentatively because it takes a couple of days to do that and we need the water right away. So you guys were nice enough to let us do that, and I'm tying into your hydrant.
Yeah, I actually checked it out today.
Yeah, it's pretty neat setup.
Yep.
Yeah, they did a nice job.
I was impressed.
Yeah, Rob was there and helped us quite a bit. You guys flushed on your side, we flushed on our side. We tested it for pressure, didn't run any water yet, and we figured we'd come here tonight and officially ask you guys to open that up. We have all the okays that we need. Our board, the chairman of our board is here with me tonight, and we have the support of our board. We're hoping to get the support of your board tonight and move forward.
Okay. Comments from our primary water
I have nothing to add. Our water source is in good shape. We definitely handle a few weeks of giving water if need be.
Any comments from anybody on the board?
No, I just think that, the guys stepping up and getting it done timely for the neighbor is good. I'd like to see that.
I know there's been a lot of work done in the last week and a half.
And I've followed it, Kathy sent out some documents, so that's one of the reasons I have any questions. You said all the DEP stuff, I went through it, and it's like,
All the questions are answered.
yeah, this is a no-brainer.
It's nice to be able to return the favor from way back in the 80s when Raleigh lost their water and Georgetown supplied us. So,
Yes.
Do we need to, for a vote, do we need to just say it's a standard rates, whatever the rates that we have are?
yeah.
I'll make a motion that we turn on the interconnect. Oh, and then Brian, questions?
Yeah, I mean, and the elephant in the room is that our rates are a lot higher than your rates.
We did discuss some tentative rates. I think there was $5.25 per thousand.
We were looking at the average rates for all of Georgetown's water, and seeing if it wouldn't be possible to sell it to them at basically their average from lowest to highest.
I honestly cannot face our water consumers and do that.
I mean, I'm not talking about changing the rates, but I think whatever we've got 3-tier structure, so if you're using a lot, whatever that, I don't have the rate right in front of me. I wouldn't want to change that, especially since you guys, Mark said that concur.
So we would be, probably even with the short term, we probably want to be our largest purchasers of water. If that could be taken into some kind of consideration, maybe give us some kind of a break. I know your rates are different than ours, so, but,
Unfortunately,
We're
you're
sitting in
you're
the
sitting
reason
in
for
the
the
reason
rates.
for it.
yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
And we have $12 million that has to be paid back through the rates. And I can't justify going to our consumers who are having extremely large water bills and justifying why they have to pay more than the neighboring town has to pay for our same water. I have a hard time with that.
And we don't discount for large users in town. I mean, we've got the three-tiered rate structure, and it's meeting Demulis's needs and restaurants and schools. So, I mean, I'm really not open to doing anything with the rates beyond what they're published. I mean, I don't want to take advantage, but I also don't want to balancing on the backs of our.
I mean, I wish there was a way we could, but I just can't face all the consumers in town with that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, perhaps, I mean, I'm more amenable to a rate that's somewhere in between because of the emergency situation. And how long are we talking about?
Basically, my contractor has assured me that he will do it in a 1 week time frame. So I'm gonna say 2 weeks, because I guess.
You know how that works?
Yeah.
We've been there, done that.
Yeah. So I guess, just to cover our bases here, we'll say 2 weeks, just to make sure that we're covered. So that's kind of the time frame. Probably, we pulled it yesterday, Wednesday, so 1 week would be Wednesday, probably the following Wednesday would be assured of having it back up, and that way we could shut the interconnect off, and that'll give us time to get our, we need a negative back sample after we do the major work. So
We've
that'll
been
give us
through
a day,
it a few
yeah,
times.
sure. So that'll give us a full day, afterwards to get our back sample in line and get our system back on the roll. I would like to actually leave you guys up and running until I could top off what I have, my tank. If I
Right.
top off my tank,
Do you have one tank or more?
we have the one tank.
One tank, just like we do.
Well, we got another one.
We have 2 tanks on one site,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
And the same size, or?
They're the same size,
Mhm.
sister tanks next to each other on the same location.
Makes it easier to deal
Yeah,
with.
2 $500,000 for a total of $1 million right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we have a million gallon storage. It just happens to
Just like we
be
do.
tanks.
Yeah,
We got one big one, we got 2 small ones.
yeah.
Twice the maintenance.
We're just lucky.
But yeah, no, I would have wanted to kind of talk about the rates beforehand and kind of calculator and look things over, but
If it was gonna be a longer period of time, we'd, look at it more, but for this week or two. And if you're gonna be a year when we were gonna supply you, then we'd probably look more into it, but
or a couple of months even, but
yeah.
Sure.
2 weeks, I'll just put it outright, the political ramifications of it, it's just that the cost benefit's not there for us. I mean, we're gonna do the water, but I'm just saying, to do anything fiddling with the rates is just, it'd be too difficult for such a short time.
All right, if we were to do this on a longer term basis, you would be amenable to,
We'd research it some more and, and look into it more.
good, just to keep our options open in the
Yeah,
future.
exactly.
I'd love to see.
I mean, I would take a calculator and look to see,
Sure.
For, say we're gonna do it for 4 months, third of the year or something, and what would it do in effect and revenue and, replacement, so on and so forth, so, that's kind of a financial approach to it, but for 2 weeks, it's just, it's hard to justify on our side.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to underestimate the amount of pushback we will get from our regular customers if we heavily discounted the existing rate. Our rates are what they are, we're trying to get them down, they probably will be coming down in the not too distant future, but we're not talking appreciably, we're talking about at the margin, 5 or 10% max. So,
We
although
understand.
I really would prefer some kind of more midpoint kind of calculation, I agree with these guys. The political ramifications would be.
Like I said, if it was for a longer term, like Georgetown supplied us for a year. If it was getting into something like that, then we'd have to negotiate. And chairman of the board could sit together and talk and come up with a plan. But
We understand when we come here that it is your water system, and you guys set the rate, and we're kind of,
and the rate's basically out of our control right now.
well, it's kind of, it's my job when I come here to try to negotiate that.
Right, exactly.
To try to do what I can to mitigate those costs for Georgetown. Um, So,
So it's like the cost of a short-term emergency fix, you know, and we're not raising our rates, you know, not taking advantage and, you know, put our guys in to, you know, help out pitching, so.
I mean, if it was the longer term, we might be able to figure it all out in the extra amount and figure it into the rates and spread out the cost that way, you know what I'm saying?
sure.
Yeah, and apparently the precedent is that I think we gave likely about 3 million gallons back in 2015 for some reason.
Probably some sort of major water main break.
Yeah.
And those rates were our face rates.
Yeah.
So that's the precedent.
So did you make that motion?
So I'll make a motion that we approve the interconnect to the town of Georgetown for up to 2 weeks, to revisit thereafter if it needs to extend, only to just make us kind of come back to David, look, you come back and say, so anyways, for at least 2 weeks, to turn it on, pursuant to all the paperwork.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
That's
Ayes have it.
true.
And the only reason I qualified that is in case,
Sure.
you know, the
Yeah.
contractor gets there, et cetera, oh my God, there's a fissure.
Absent,
So
absent
we'll come back. It
catastrophic.
makes us have to come back
Yeah.
to talk, and then we can plan together.
Yeah, absolute catastrophic failure,
You guys can plan something if we.
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks would be plenty.
Yeah.
But if there is something catastrophic that does happen,
And then we'll be back to the drawing board and see what we can
Yeah.
figure out system-wide.
okay, great.
Well, on behalf of the Board of Water Commissioners in Georgetown, as well as the town, we do appreciate your willingness to help us out and to sell us some water. So we do thank you, and we want to make sure that that's heard and understood by all the viewers as well as yourselves, that we do appreciate this very much in our time of needing water. So thank you.
You're entirely welcome.
We're just lucky we got well 2 back.
Yeah, last year we wouldn't have been able to do this.
Yeah.
We had our own boat problem, thankfully we could cover ourselves,
Yeah.
but we had no spare capacity, I guess, that's what it means.
Right, but it is, I think it is important to, because we do have to recondition wells 3 and 5. And so there is a window where we can do this. We can take wells 3 and 5 down.
Correct, yeah.
And we will not be able to keep it going, so.
So maybe sometime in the future, we could revisit the whole subject and maybe work out something more permanent basis,
Yeah.
and see where we can go. The possibilities are kind of endless. Two communities helping each other.
Yeah.
Great,
Okay.
great. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, this way.
Bye-bye.
Mr. Cole.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
See you guys. Yeah.
Did you have a chance to review this yet, Bernie?
So,
Cell phones.
I have not had a chance.
Okay.
But you have.
We have 2 proposals. Last meeting, you assigned me to review. And everything I'm looking at is Sprint's a lot better deal on the phones. The only thing we don't know about is how well it's gonna work at Bob's house, so if we vote to go with Sprint, we're gonna give Bob a phone in a few days, and he's gonna take it home and try it around, make sure it works fine. And then if it doesn't, then we'll stay with Verizon. If it works out great, we'll switch it over. It's, we're getting 4 phones.
What's the bottom line? I can't see the bottom line.
Yeah, I can't see that.
It says total contract accessories, yada, 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 2637. Where's the bottom line on the Verizon?
That's the Verizon I find very confusing to follow, to be honest with you.
So Verizon's the blue one?
Yes, and that's all that I received.
Mhm.
Okay, so
So I'm looking at,
total is $350 a month times 12.
and
Which is 4,200 versus the 2,637. The $1,563 difference,
yeah,
because Sprint has got it there for the monthly pricing, and then
and they gave us a $400 credit.
they gave it not monthly, they gave it to us as, the 2,637 is for a 12-month, and
Mhm.
the number of terms in contract 12, and then the bottom line is 2,600. And Verizon quoted it as total monthly recurring. They just didn't annualize it,
Right.
so. And it looks like the Sprint is for 4 lines, did you say?
Yes.
And the Verizon's for 5. Nope, 3, and 2 jetpacks.
And this is for 4 and 2 jetpacks in Sprint. But like I said, I found it the Verizon one very confusing to follow.
I guess my question is to Bob and Rob, do you guys have any input on this? Or, like say, feedback?
The other thing we would be concerned about is just the cell service, that, we can get in a lot of trouble, we have gotten in a lot of trouble in the past, for not having phones we're having phones that don't work.
Mhm.
Now, there's, there are Verizon phones, there's other issues, but we don't really care what the price is, to be honest.
Mhm.
We need cell phones that work all the time, no matter where we are. So yeah, that being said, we were really interested in getting the cell phone that they said they would provide us, so we could test it out. Because Bob Gray lives up in northern New Hampshire, and we don't know what the cell phone service is like up there. We have reports around here that it's it's very good. But we don't know what it's like up there.
What do you have at home for a phone? Verizon or something? Verizon?
Yeah,
That
I've
works.
always had Verizon. I had other companies and it just didn't work out. But that was years when they first came out. I have Verizon for my personal phone, which we do use in the verbatim as a backup to the company phone in case for some reason that doesn't work. So I still have my personal phone, that is Verizon, so, if I do miss a call on the Sprint, it'll just call out the next number, which is my Verizon. But I do have to say that I've been everywhere. I traveled to California, I traveled to Texas and stuff like that. And I've traveled throughout the state, in New Hampshire, Maine, and Massachusetts. I've never been where other phones are, but I'm more willing to try it out. It's,
What did they say about getting a phone for you to try before we buy?
Well, you have to sign up, to get it signed on to Sprint, you have to sign up, and then you have so many days to cancel.
Do we have to turn in the other equipment?
I'm not sure. I didn't ask.
The last time I spoke with her, they were supposed to be just doing one cell phone for a tryout for this exact reason.
Yeah.
Because we just don't know, and like it's definitely a savings going to Sprint, but if it messes up with our communications, then it's not that big of a savings compared to what could happen if we can't communicate with each other or can't communicate.
This is a
with
basic, it's gotta work. And
Right.
so I'd be okay moving forward, just on the trial basis first. Sign up for the one and make sure it works, and if it does, then I'd be okay moving forward.
We have to put together the system.
And we would still need to use, I believe we still need to use Verizon, because there's equipment here that Sprint's not going to touch, so we'd still have a Verizon bill. The water treatment plant pretty much has its own cell phone. It's not a cell phone per se, but it has its own wireless abilities. And Sprint's not going to touch that or change it. So we'd still be using Verizon for a couple of things.
I mean, if they're happy with Verizon and everybody's happy with, I don't have a problem staying with.
Well, so again, I can't.
I'm not the one to start this.
I don't know, I don't have Sprint, and I haven't used Sprint for a long time. I don't know if it's good or not. It could be 100% fine.
I use Sprint, I've never had.
And yes, so, and you were saying that, I think the fire department?
Fire department, we've been using Sprint.
Yep. So it sounds like it's fine in this area, but we just want to double
I can
check.
honestly say I've never been at Bob's house, so I don't know how it works there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with it, I mean, we can say, well, that's fine and everything, but, we are comfortable and we are, that this is very dependable, and it's never failed us. So, but, it doesn't mean that Sprint, maybe it'll be the same.
So,
Because I do travel, I mean, I travel Vermont and places like that, so.
There's one thing I'll say, is when the 2 times the power went out, this last, whatever it was, winter, there were 2 phones in town that worked. And it was Sprint and Verizon.
T-Mobile didn't. Well, it's $130 a month difference is what it is. And I'll be honest with you, for that, for the risk mitigation, to stay with something that's solid and works versus, well, let's try it, this is, no offense, this is not something to, let's try it. Yeah, especially given that, you guys have to really manage some pretty critical infrastructure, and
And it's not only our phones, but it's also jetpacks for our laptops that we control.
Yeah, it runs the plant.
yeah.
So, like I said, we've never had an issue, it's always been dependable. That's another thing that we'll have to, try is, and I hope they will provide us with a jetpack so that we can try our laptops that we carry in our vehicles and everything else, even when we travel. When I go from here to home, I have that in case I do get a call, and I can pull over and pull out the laptop and the jetpack and I'm good to go.
I usually have the theory of, if it isn't broke, why fix it?
Well, because there's a cost savings, but I mean, at what point is
At
that
what
cost
point is that
savings?
gonna balance out to?
And the other thing is, if Sprint wants this, and we told them what to do, get us a phone and a jetpack and let Bob try it. And the thing is, they came back, oh, you have to sign up, forget it, I'm done. I'm out. Took Shark Tank, I'm out.
So the other thing on here is, I don't, as you spotted, John, total estimated credits seem to be added back on the bill.
Yeah, I just
As
don't, I
opposed to
noticed that.
subtracted.
I noticed
So
that
it
too.
looks
just
like
now.
it ought to be 18, it ought to be 1,800 a month, which is, now we're talking about a 50% savings. So seems to me that we should get clarity on what this estimate is.
Yeah, she told me the $400 was a credit, which would go towards the first couple months of.
I'm not interested, bottom line, unless they, we
No,
we told them what we want.
we need the phone first to make sure that it works, period.
And a jetpack, so that was it. I mean, we said, and it's like, sign up, nope, like I said, I'm out. I'm not.
I'm entertaining motions
There's no motion, it's just.
to stay with or go without. You know,
I'll make a motion that we,
stay with Verizon.
So who's talking to Sprint? You were
I've been talking to them.
Sprint.
Or
So
Rob
I
was,
would make a motion for Mark to communicate with Sprint and tell them exactly what the conditions are for us to seriously consider the proposal.
yeah, I'll second. You know,
So that's the
I'd be willing to
motion, I'm sorry.
reconsider.
I think so.
But if they don't wanna do that, then, you know, and I don't need to change
They have
things
to
back.
understand the sensitivity of what it is we're doing.
Critical infrastructure,
So,
that's the
the
term.
motion's been made and seconded.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye. Ayes have it. We'll be back to the next meeting.
yeah, we'll see.
Well, I mean, I think we should, whatever else, I mean, Verizon needs to kind of also play ball in terms of.
They did send us options, but I guess we'd have to kind of really talk to Verizon. Because again, I think everyone feels the same way. I don't understand the 4 different options and what they mean.
They mean it that way.
Yeah.
It's on
It's
purpose.
on
Like some of them are, they're cheaper, but I don't understand why.
It's to obfuscate the bill so that you look at it and go, I don't.
Just pay it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a whole marketing play. It's just,
Right.
you know,
But I
don't
mean,
consumers, and we'll just do it that way.
I think we need to look at our usage and our phones and so forth, and make sure that, you know, see if there's anything that we can change how we're using our phones and so forth to help out a little bit. But, you know, it's just the idea that we're very comfortable with it, they always were.
Your phone's a tool. I'm not gonna go make you get a Cobalt when the Craftsman is the one that you want, you use, it fits your hand, and it hits, yeah, no. But, you know.
So if nobody understands these proposals,
I
then I think that's the feedback to these guys, kind of make it customer friendly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not hard.
All right, next item on is the quotes for the new truck. Seems that we had a special meeting, I hadn't put those out there, so he's all ready to go.
Just teasing. Kathy called me, I'm like, great. Sounds good.
No sense in meeting, making it wait another month to our next meeting.
No, we can get the plow on it in time for the winter.
Yeah, good deal.
The sooner we get it in, the sooner.
What I did is that, at the last year, before the budget period, I contacted, MHQ to get a quote on the vehicle with all the accessories and so forth that we would be, lights, plow, and, so forth on it. As to come up with a figure for a budget. And then, what I did, the minute that I knew, July 1st, I went and got quotes from Colonial, Ford, and also MHQ finalized them. And right now, it looks like Colonial came in roughly about $900 cheaper than MHQ, which is, and I spent a lot of time going through them to make sure it's apples for apples and we're getting what we're, you know, a good product. And like I said, Colonial gave us a little bit better equipment and for a cheaper price and stuff like that. So
The biggest difference was the trade-in value
Trade-in value.
of our current truck.
yeah, I think the trading was.
See the plow package, is there a plow with this thing?
Yes.
We have plows.
Well, the one that we're trading in, never had a plow on. But right now, we are gonna have two smaller
second
vehicles
page.
with plows. And that way, we don't have to, we can split the plowing up, and the
This
large
one,
truck that we have, the dump truck, that plow was what, 10 foot?
That's,
two people do a lot of these dirt roads.
that's a highway plow, yeah.
So
We're
that's
using
a
it for
highway
Station
plow type
2
of thing. So,
or the office.
The other thing is this one has one of the V scoop plows on it, which,
Where's this one? I'm trying to see, where is the plow?
second page. Yep, Vischer 8.5 V plow, steel, extreme,
I'm not seeing it.
it's on the back page.
page 2 of 2.
I believe, oh, okay. Yeah, is that gonna double
This page?
No,
Is that that's the other company, right?
No, CMG, hold on. Right, oh, yep, that's not the same as this copy, that's why I'm looking for on page 2.
it comes, it's a Fisher 45 plow with extreme V.
This one's easy, yeah, well, it is.
Yeah, it's, we decided to go with a V plow this time because they're so much more versatile.
Really?
Yes, I didn't believe it till I went back to work for the highway department with a truck with a V plow, and I said, I'll never use it. Well, guess what? You can't kick me off of it now. It's the only way to buy a plow. You could do, even doing the parking lot out back here and stuff, a parking lot, with the V, you could scoop it and lift it, put it up onto the banking and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it's,
The one unique item with this one that we don't have is that it comes with a lift gate. So if we have to have a pump or something, or
A power lift
a generator, yeah, a power lift gate.
to get away from using the crane truck, to lift the barrels and stuff,
Yeah,
it's so much safer.
that's awesome.
I had a question. The Colonial, are they installing all the accessories?
Yep.
Because I know the other company, with MHQ, they do everything on site, which is why usually a lot cheaper. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't have to bring it to other shops to get everything installed.
Yeah, this truck has to be completed.
Delivered as.
Everything.
Okay. Because I know some places you got to bring it to, you can get the truck, then you have to bring it to the light place, and then the lift gate place.
Yes.
So are they gonna, is this gonna have the utility stuff like the other trucks?
Yeah.
All the stuff you want?
Yeah, the lighting
Look,
is,
just like the other trucks, except for the back has a lift gate.
and
Mhm.
I added some more lighting than what we have on the other trucks, just for the simple fact that, safety, LEDs and so forth.
It's got winter tech.
So how much is the
Full lines and that
article?
kind of stuff too.
The article was for 60,000, we're at 56,800.
Which, we may be buying a new radio and having that installed in it too, for the extra.
So,
I have to look at the radio, see what condition it's in and stuff.
I think a motion that we approve the truck as presented by law, 50, for the number 56. Let me read the number.
Second.
56,
085,
56, spot 75.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Good job, guys.
So this is the last big equipment.
yeah, this is
Truck
actually,
replacement.
everything's been replaced except for the crane truck, which doesn't have to be replaced. It was all, the back body was removed from the truck completely, the crane and everything was redone, painted, so forth, it's a diesel, and,
It'll have less use now because
How's the backhoe? We had that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we did, we took the fenders off and a few other items, they got sandblasted and painted. It's in good shape for now. We can definitely get a few more years out of it, I think, but again, just like these trucks, you don't want them you don't wanna let it go too long before replacing, because then it's just, the value will be set at 0. And, you just won't be getting anything back for it, and you'll be buying a brand new.
When's the next piece of capital equipment, what's the next piece that needs to be done, do you think?
It'll be between the 450 and the Caterpillar. The thing is, they're both diesels, and because of that, they run, you know, the 450 has, like 70,000 miles on it, but that diesel engine is good for like 450,000 miles.
I put almost 300 on my Jetta.
Yeah, and kind of same thing with the Cat, where the Caterpillar, where it is a diesel engine, and it doesn't get used as much as like a full-time construction company would use a backhoe like that.
If you maintain them, they're gonna last for a long time.
But we just end up running the risk that, if it's, regardless of it's kind of the shape it's in, if it's suddenly it's 2024, they're gonna look at it like, oh, it's kind of old, and we don't care that it only has 1,000 hours on it. We're not gonna give you any money for it. It would be between those two.
Okay.
I wouldn't know which one to go at first.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Right.